Hey guys, how are you guys doing this morning? So it's beautiful Friday in the beautiful state of Florida, and I'm just here thinking after the call that we had yesterday for ITP with Mr. Mac from England. Again, thank him so much and his team for always availing themselves every Thursday to just provide an atmosphere where we can learn and grow in terms to this program. And I was just sitting and thinking there was a lot of stuff that was discussed this week and last week just had me thinking. And just right now, as I pulled into my yard, I thought about, how ITP is really doing all that they can do to maintain the longevity of the company. And when I think back on, compared to old platforms, those that shall not be named, but I'm going to name it anyway, like Cops. A lot of us were in Cops and we're doing well. I think my balance had grown to about $8,000 within like 3 or 4 months. So the Cop opportunity was massive, but what they did wrong, some of the stuff that I'm seeing now that they did that ITP is not doing, is they allowed the instant and quick withdrawals of, significant amounts. So I believe the system basically kind of crashed because people started to pull. You had access to pull this so much amount of money at any time and instantly. I feel that was that could have been one of the reasons that it crashed. But we've heard many different stories, seen many different proofs of what actually happened, what might have happened. I don't want to go into depth and dwell on that. But what I wanted to say is, ITP is really doing its best to keep the longevity of the program. And it's just the little things like the withdrawal limits and stuff like that. So people that invest, because most people are not investing that much. A lot of people say I'm with $100 because it's just $100 because it's just skeptical. So don't think you're gonna be able. They're gonna allow you to invest enough, and how the system is set up where you invest enough where you could put in your small amount and you're gonna be able to get that back out. But don't think you're gonna compound and make this significant amount of money and be able to pull all of this thing out, at the expense of the other users. You're gonna get out, and you're gonna get out gradually, and that's what's gonna keep the system going. Where they'll allow you to pull out a decent amount, because on G1 you can trade a quantified trade at about $20,000 max, and they'll allow you to take out $1,000, every 5 days. That's you can get out profits. You might not be able to get a whole barrage of profits one time, but you'll be able to get out profits, especially for people that's going to start with $100 or $500 and go that to $20,000. Your initial investment is $500. You get that out within a week once you reach that point, and then you could get out more profits after that. But you're not going to be able to pull such a whole amount out. If you want to do that, then you have to ascend to a higher G level, which you're doing more at that level. To get to it, you have to do more. And some of the things I want to point out, I want to provide some more perspective on that for a lot of people. When you think about, it's something that we see every day, or we're in it every day in our workplaces. So because of a perspective, we don't understand it, we don't see it. But now in ITP now, because of changing perspective now, we're seeing it, we can see it differently. We're realizing, that this is something that we are in, because of a change in perspective. When we look at a job, a lot of companies, if you're not doing more, they don't want to give you a raise. If you want a raise, you have to do more. And some companies are sketchy where they put more on you and they don't want to pay you more. That's not a typical company. Those are bad-minded people. But for the typical company where they're asking you to do more, it usually comes with a raise. And that's the same thing with ITP. If you want to make more than 2.5%, you have to do more in order to make that have that increase in income. You can't expect to be doing the same thing and not and want more money. Um, you have to support, basically, and that's a lot of the times that's the terminology that Mr. Mack is using. You have to support that difference. You have to make up that difference by referring active users, valid members that are going to be active in doing their clicks every day. That's going to be active in recruiting people, to make up that difference of increased income, because you have on the higher levels, you have increased income in your clicks because you're earning off of what they make, and you have increased income. No, increase because you're making more money when you do, because you have access to more clicks, more trades, and you're making money when your people on there make money. So you have to do more. In my job as an accountant, I have a client-based job where I have certain clients that I do work for, and recently I got a raise, but before they could give me a raise, they wanted to make sure that my portfolio was enough to support that raise. So it's all about the numbers, because what we have to realize is, if we do not support or make up the difference for those increased incomes that we're receiving from our team members below us and from the clicks, because as you go up each level, you increase, you have more access to more trades, you get more money. If we cannot support that, then that's going to have to come out of ITP's pocket, and it's only so it's only so long that they'll be able to pay out of pocket to cover those increased income before they crash. So that's why it's so important. That's why they're cracking down and making sure that people are team building, that and the demotion is happening. And I understand it now, and I approve it, because if we want longevity, stuff like this have to happen, because it has to get to a point again where ITP has to be coming out too much out of their pocket to make up for that difference. Then the system is going to crash, it's going to fail. So, we have to understand, and I hope this brings kind of clarity to everyone on the topic. So that's that. I think I've hammered that point home enough. If you guys have any questions or you rebut anything that I've said in the video, you can go down and we can chop it up in the comments. Another thing that was mentioned in the meetings was also the topic of people are being skeptical, which is valid, because we don't have much information or proof of the trades or proof of what's happening in the background. Because I know in previous platforms that I've been in, there was information provided where you could kind of trace the trades. So that was proof that it was actually happening in the background. ITP does not provide that. I mean, it would be good to have it, but I don't see what the problem is if we're getting our money. You know what I'm saying? They provide us with as much detail, and like Max says, if you're trained or experienced in the crypto market and blockchain, you can find it. I'll probably try to see if I could find one of my transactions and probably do a video on it later. I'm kind of good at it, so I'll see what I can do, and I'll create a video. But the thing is, though, what we have to realize, Darren on the call this week, yesterday, made a great point. Because some people were talking, they're trying to convince some family members and friends, but they want to know more proof. They want to see more proof of what's actually happening. And he made a great point. If we look at the perspective from the banks, we do not know 100% how they're making all their money. All we know is that they put an interest in our banks. We get an interest. Sometimes it's not a lot, sometimes it's a lot. If you have bigger account, bigger capital, you make more money. And if the interest rate is high enough, you can see some good returns. I work with my clients, and I see when they do their bank recs, some of them make some good interest in certain banks and with certain capital. So you can see the money coming, but we don't know 100% of how they're making their money. We know that they use the money for loans and stuff, and they give us like a small percentage, 0.01, but we don't know. I know banks do like a lot of trading in forex and currency trading and stuff like that, but we don't see those stuff. All we know is that we make money. We see money coming to our account. Not a lot of money, but we see money coming to our account. So in this case now, we're making money. We're making money in this case. There's more money, but we're caught up on what we can't see what's going on. The fact we don't even say this is something that's not been available to us is definitely like a transfer of wealth, transfer of access that's given out to the public. Quantitative trading, from my understanding, has been around for years, but just like how, you know, a lot of the things are being revealed to us now, being accessible to the public, this is just one of those other things that they've had secretly in the bosom, I guess, for lack of a better word, and now someone's now putting out there so that the public has access to it. So again, like, this is not to convince anyone to join. It's just to kind of give you a change in perspective, because we're looking at it as from the eyes of consumers. We can't fathom the kind of money that's being earned. But then we have to realize Bitcoin, this is a new thing. Cryptocurrency, this is a new thing. You know what I'm saying? The government is still trying to understand it. The government is still trying to figure out how they can regulate it. But because now it's unregulated, I mean, the power is in the hands of the people. If it was in the hands of the government, you would see how they would manipulate things. Like, we don't know how much banks really making. Banks could be making like 10% on a daily basis, but they manipulate it and they use us. They could be making 6, 7, 8% every day and just barely giving us anything out of it. And honestly, some of them are making that kind of money when they're charging us this ridiculous interest every month on our loans and stuff, and using our money to make that kind of money off loans, and then they barely giving us anything out of it. You know, so with cryptocurrency, is putting the power into the people's hands. And, you know, we're having access to the same kind of life-changing income that these institutions are, but we just don't know. You know, call me a conspiracy theorist, but that's enough of my rant for today. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening. Like I said, I am going to create a video once I can figure out where to locate the trades. I'll see if I can do it today, and then once I figure it out, then I'll do a video showing you guys proof of the ITP trades. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, if you've stuck this far out in the video, remember to like, comment, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate you guys for always coming back and chopping it up with me. Go down in the comments, leave a comment. Let's talk about this thing. What do you guys think? Did you think I'm a conspiracy theorist and I'm just ranting on and on? Or do you see validity in any of my points? Right. Have a good one, guys, and bye-bye from the sunny state of Florida. Have a great and blessed weekend when it comes.